Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we are going to be posing the Batman. So I made some cuts in the body. There's a lot more flexibility when you have plasticine. You can kind of move things around. But one of the things I did in the channel is I added some wax to this clay underneath, the darker clay. And what that does is that it makes it a little bit stiffer, but also it creates cracks when you move. And also I have aluminum foil underneath, so that creates a little bit more of the breakage. But I'm trying to create a pose, and now I'm going to use Monster Clay Medium. And I'm really liking Monster Clay because Monster Clay has got a little bit of wax to it, and having a lighter color also is going to help out in the long run, because I will be scanning this and putting it up on my Thingiverse and my Patreon page, so stay tuned for that. At this point, I'm adding a few more details to the legs. Batman comes in a variety of forms. I can make him almost Hulk-like if I wanted. There are some Batmans like the Frank Miller style, and I do like them. They tend to be a little bit wider and less elegant, but I haven't really decided at this point. I decided to make the right leg take a step forward because I think I'm going to have him on top of a rooftop, maybe near a gargoyle of some kind, and I think that might be the direction that I'm going to go. And I'm also thinking that perhaps I will add something related to the Joker. I haven't decided, but right now I'm going to add the Batman symbol on his chest. There are several logos of the Batman that you could add. I think I'm going to make one a little bit more abstract. The left hand, I decided to make it clenched, but at this, I can change it at the very last minute. And if you watched the previous video, I separated the hands, but I think what I'm going to do is make a cut at the shoulder so I can make a bust of this in the future. So one thing I'm using is a hair dryer. Hair drying is something that I don't use for water clay, but what this does is it fuses and melts and warms up the clay, and it's very cold here in Washington, D.C. So I am getting the clay, and every time I'm working on it in the studio, it is just really cold. So I'm constantly scraping. In water-based clay, I'm always adding, and that's really like how most sculptors work, is adding clay. But because of the nature of plasticine, you constantly have to remove because it's so much harder. The clay is so hard to work with. And when you combine it with the temperature, you can see that it could be an issue. I have the sculpture standing on an armature. I haven't even put him on the ground. That's how flexible an armature is inside. So if you are curious to have an armature, it basically means you have to make a mold. You can't fire it. This is oil-based clay, so you can't really do much with it other than make a mold. But as you guys know, I've been doing 3D scanning, and that's my main goal with this. So at this point, I decided to open up the hand because I think I'm going to have some Joker related thing to it, maybe his head, maybe something related to Batman. Post in the comments below, I'd be curious to know. And also, Batman's got various belts with different contraptions, and depending on the year that the movie or comic book came out, he has different styles of Batman suit, so it really depends. But I do like Batman. I think he's my favorite comic book to sculpt because he's got a lot of character. And that's pretty much it. Stay tuned. I will be finishing this pretty soon. And as per usual, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. I really appreciate you guys watching.